Sexual-based violence and female genital mutilation are human rights violations that predominantly affect women and girls as a consequence of systematic and structural inequality. Equality Now, in partnership with Defense for Children Sierra Leone, has held a 2 day workshop meeting with state and non-state actors to discuss gaps, challenges, and solutions in access to justice for adolescent girls survivors of sexual violence. Jean Paul Moranga of Equality Now said the 2 days workshop is to bring state and non-state actors in order for them to identify regional, sub-regional, and international human rights laws that protect adolescent girls' right to education and freedom from sexual violence, which is rape, and also to analyze state obligation regarding human rights, freedom from sexual violence, and right to education.
So what's going on today, we've convened together civil society organizations from different provinces of Sierra Leone just to discuss the issue of sexual violence, but also how it affects a girl's right to education, because we've seen that when a girl is violated sexually, she could get pregnant, and then of course that will affect her education in the sense that she'll have to stay away from school for some time to give birth. And now, given that the ban has been lifted, we are also working together with other government stakeholders just to ensure that when the girls come back to school, there is an environment that is willing to receive them and support them through the education system. So for example, we've supported our partner DCI to train FSU officers to help in investigations, but also we've supported WAVES to train school management committees, to train counselors within schools so that they're able to help and support these girls, but also to be able to create an environment within school where girls feel comfortable to speak out on the issues that affect them.
The Executive Director, Defense for Children Sierra Leone, Abdulmanaf Kemokai, said their organization is always here to defend the right of girls and women and also to educate the general populace about the trauma that girls and women go through from sexual violence, and also FGM.
They are organizing training targeting civil society organizations on how to use regional and international mechanisms to address human rights situations in the country. And more particularly, we are looking at sexual violence against adolescent girls, as well as how do we promote access to education for adolescent girls, given the fact that most often they are the ones who are targeted sexual violence. They are the ones who get pregnant and drop out of school, and they are the ones who often face a lot of challenges. So in all of what we do, we're trying to ensure that they have access to justice. We try to ensure that they can stay in school and continue. There are situations where they will not be able to do so because of other bottlenecks. So how do we use regional and international mechanisms to address these issues and bring about practical transformation, not only in the law, but also in practice? So this is the reason why we are organizing this training.
The Executive Director for WAVE Sierra Leone, Anita Yambatsu, also elaborates on the importance of the workshop and how it's going to help CSOs in order for them to deal with the issue of gender-based violence and FGM in the country.
WAVES is in partnership with Equality Now, and we have been working alongside Equality Now since 2015. And we are trying to address issue on sexual gender-based violence against girls, and we have come a long way from the pregnant girls to school to where we are today, where we are implementing a project addressing the titles we got picking them. And we are trying to see how we can reduce SGBV in the school environment. And part of this package, and it's a project where Equality is working with people, but supported by Comic Relief. And as part of their own, that is trained civil society organization on the regional and national laws and how that can be can interplay in the work that we do on addressing SGBV.
According to the Executive Director, Yakan Sierra Leone, Ward said it is imperative that the government of Sierra Leone fulfill its obligation under the human rights laws to protect women and girls from sexual violence and make criminal justice systems for victims friendly and accessible.
Gender-based violence has been a household name in terms of issues that are affecting young women and also men. But what it means is that the issues that are very much popular when it comes to issues around sexual penetration and sexual offences, which have been looked into the gender-based violence and angle, is actually what we are also here to look at it from the policy perspective and how policies are formulated, what are the background towards the formulation of the policies, and how we can ensure that we work within the lines of the policies to ensure that those who are perpetrators and those who are survivors are able to take advantage of the process, and those who are perpetrators, the law can be to take its course, and those who are survivors can be able to provide for them to get things like education and some other things.
For Star News in Freetown, George Elliotson reporting.